Welcome to From Dust? Question mark. Hi, hi chat. Hello everyone. How are you? We had our usual technical difficulties, and honestly, I'm expecting more. So just let's have that be the tension and suspense for tonight's episode. um, so okay. Hello, welcome to From Dust. This is our Dungeon World game here on Twitch. I am not frazzled at all. Let's do some check-in. Jess, hi. How are
Hello.
you?
Good. We'll say good.
Similarly, not frazzled, right?
I am definitely not running on sheer determination alone at this point after one hell of a week. No, I'm great. I'm good. I've been prepping a lot of things for a thing that's happening tomorrow. My Ryu Thomas stream is premiering, so that has occupied all of my brain, except for the minutes when I was prepping for last night's spooky ass stream, which you were in.
It was so spooky, guys. If you didn't catch Jess's Monster of the Week Kokurizan horrorness last night, you should absolutely go and check out the VOD.
It was extremely anime, which of course it was.
I was very scared.
It was extremely spooky. And that's all I'm gonna say. It was fun. I don't think we really knew how to play Monster of the Week, but I think we did okay in spite of that.
No, I think if we were to like play more of that, like more sessions of it, I would prefer if we knew more about the game.
Sure.
But for a one shot, like when nobody knows the system, it's fine. It's when like one person knows the system really well and they're like, I'm here expecting this game, and then everyone else is like, we don't know that game, so we're playing something that looks like it but isn't it. And that's a problem. But that's not what we had last night. So
I mean, I think we fudged it enough that it was pretty close, but were I to run it again or run in more of it, I would take some time to actually really learn the keeper side of the rules.
For sure.
But it was fun. We had fun. That's what matters.
Yeah, fun is an experience I had at the end of that game, and afterward. I don't know if that's how I would characterize my experience during the game. Scared, concerned, anxious. Those are words I would have used.
Yes, but you played the finest shonen anime hero I've ever seen.
He was that. Yeah.
Yes, that's been the majority of my week. Prepping for like 3 games.
Yep. I feel that one. I feel that in my bones. But good job making it through. You're at the weekend now, which means you actually get to play things. So tonight you get to do that good Dungeon World stuff, and then tomorrow I'm so excited for your show.
It's gonna be so fun.
I've been in a sleep in kind of mood, but I am not going to sleep in so that I can make sure that I catch it, because I am that excited.
If you wake up at noon and just like fire up your phone, you can watch it in bed.
I mean, yeah, that's what I mean. Awesome. So, Kiana, I remember how to host the beginning of a show because I do this frequently and did not take last weekend off. Kiana, hi. Hello. How are you? It's been a while.
Hi. Fingers crossed that internet decides to hold, because I played Call of Cthulhu earlier. I ran a Call of Cthulhu one-shot for charity. And then I think the Eldritch Horrors just decided to possess my internet.
Oh
no. I'm not gonna win on that. And hope to God that it stays. But yeah, it's been good. I have been going gung-ho with my my final honors project for my final year of undergrad. So that's basically what my life has been, plus all the games. We started a new Dragonlance Ravenloft game, May Black Roses Bloom, which has been super cool. We did episode 0, and then we saw we did episode 1 where we saw half the group in one, in the Age of Despair, so in one time period, and then we'll be hopping over to the other half, which includes me, this upcoming Wednesday, and I'm super excited because I get to play an angsty Bab. I'm playing angsty Bab assassin, and I'm very excited. She's real sad. She's a sad girl.
I feel like angsty assassin is a powerful combination. Like,
yeah. She's also super about vengeance.
oh, good.
Because she got screwed over by her father. And so she had to go on the run, and now she's coming back to finish the job that she couldn't.
Nice.
So
Nice.
that's where we're starting off the game. It's her being like, oh yes, I found my dad, except now he's the bodyguard of the most powerful man in the fucking land. Great, cool. And the problem, so my DM messaged me and like, okay, so what's the general approach that Avern's gonna have? And I'm like, I mean, the smart thing would be to stay as far away as fucking possible and snipe. But no, she's not gonna do that. She wants him to know it was her and
Right.
why.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, this is gonna go so bad.
Yep.
Hey, King Priest of Ishtar, the most powerful magic person here. Don't mind me
Yep.
as I murder your bodyguard.
It's fine. I'm not murdering you. I'm murdering your
I'm
bodyguard.
just here for I'm just here for the bodyguard.
Don't even worry about it.
Well,
yeah.
good luck with that, I guess.
Yeah, and that's just gonna be episode episode 2. I swear to God.
Whew,
We do
starting
get
off
one
with all
free
the chill.
death. We get one free death per character
Okay.
because it's a really, really brutal homebrew system. It's D&D 5e, but like healing magic doesn't work.
Oh.
You only get 1 point of
shit.
healing for any point of healing magic.
Wow.
That dude, healing word is the bomb then. Fuck everything else.
So it doesn't work.
Wow.
You only get 1 point of healing back. So
Poor man.
we get fucked. And there's also a mechanic to slowly corrupt us.
Oh. Good.
So basically,
I
we
don't
get
know what
corruption
that's
points.
like. I would never put that in a game.
Yeah. We get corruption. We get corruption points. We have to make a Christmas saving throw at the end of every episode.
Oh
Oh.
my god.
And Avron
Jeez.
is at a +0. She's- So, watch as she goes from true neutral to chaotic evil real fast.
Yikes.
Excellent.
Yikes. Yeah, exactly, Adam. That's gonna be a big yikes for me. But
We already have a character already had turned chaotic evil because she was neutral evil,
oh
and
no.
then she got 10 points of corruption, and she went chaotic evil.
She's just like, fuck all of it. I'm evil now. The most evil.
Yikes.
LOL, I do what I want.
We're gonna be real dysfunctional for a while.
This sounds like a truly heroic campaign.
Yeah.
For sure. Adam, how about you? How have you been? Are you feeling better? I know you were under the weather last time.
Yeah, it's not completely gone yet, but it's getting better. It still lingers a little bit. Maybe by next weekend I'll finally be good. I really hope. Really hope.
Fingers
But
crossed.
I've been busy with my wife. We have been planning our Connecticut wedding, which is tomorrow. Gonna have a lovely fall park wedding, so it'll be fantastic. And I am taking her to her first ever live action roleplay event next weekend.
I saw the costumes. You
Yeah, I'm playing Framboise Deschamps, the wizard. She is playing Mischief, the ranger. And it's a brand new LARP. It's called Myth. So if any of you are in New England and you're looking for something to do and want to hang out with a couple of cool cats, meaning me and my wife, you can come check that out. And I'm really looking forward to it. I used to do a LARP that had been around for like 10 years, so I was very much a small fish in a big pond. Whereas this is brand new. Everyone's level 1, so I'm kind of looking forward to seeing just how that dynamic is.
Awesome.
Awesome. And congrats on your take 2 on the getting married thing.
Thank you.
Hope that goes very well. And honestly, big thanks for being here the day before.
Yeah.
Trust me, a little
nice
bit of
break.
fun is nice. Yeah.
Yeah, fun is good. And yes, as chat may have noticed, Summer is not with us tonight. Although I feel her in this Chili's. She is busy going and like celebrating an anniversary or whatever. But we wish her the best and congratulations. But fuck you for not being here. So she's gonna watch the VOD and be so.
How dare she spend time with her husband?
Yeah, no. Doesn't she know that Saturdays are my day? The fuck. All right, that entitlement aside, are we ready to play some Dungeon World, or at least try?
Let's see. We wanted to hang out with our party, aka the literal compounding disasters. That's right,
yes, that's what we were calling them last night. The compounding disasters. So to recap a little bit from last episode, episode 7, Vori and Era went and talked to Vori's adoptive church dad about sort of the situation with Rydia, and that went less violently, perhaps, than Vori had expected. There was a lot less burning everything down, and we discovered some things about Rydia. We discovered that she had been searching for this fire of life that Vori has heard of before, in hopes that it could be used to help people, and potentially, although her exact intent was a little unclear, potentially to help Vori as well, before she died. And the bishop, Cavendish, asked Arrow and Vori to continue this quest in Rydia's absence, and they sort of agreed, kind of, more or less. They also heard some more detailed news about the situation to the west at Elisurdran, which is a forest to the west of Sanctuary that most people think is just wilderness, but as has been sort of hinted at from time to time, actually is home to a hidden elvish city, which Arrow is from, and apparently there's some issues with monsters in the area. Arrow sent off his hawk, Lake, to go send a message back home. Farron, in the meantime, entered a competition. There is a sort of a bardic ability competition happening at the Ducal Palace for the birthday of the Duke's daughter. There, Farron met several people, like just a wide variety of people, some entertainers, some peasants just taking a stab at it, a chamberlain that for some reason really doesn't like Farron, and another performer named Helga, who is giving Farron a sort of a run for their money in this competition, but has been nice about it. Gregor returned to the party, explained where he had been, got told off significantly by Farron for just running off and almost dying. And the whole party sort of wandered their way back to the inn at the Tilted Turn, when we saw off camera, or away from the party, a group of blue-clad warriors came into town and visited Bishop Cavendish and struck him dead. So, where we come in today, it is the morning of the following day. The sun is shining, the birds mostly seagulls are screaming more than singing. And as you sort of slowly draw yourself to consciousness, you can hear bells ringing across the city. And these aren't the bells. At first you think, oh, it's counting the hour, right, as they just keep ringing, and you're like, oh, did I sleep in that late? And then, it passes 12, and you consider that perhaps these bells are not for the time, but some form of warning or announcement. What do you do?
Gregor's just gonna kind of grunt and. Why? Ugh.
And Farron, who is also like sprawled out, it's just like with face in the pillow, just like, muffled. I don't know.
We were sharing rooms, right?
Yeah,
Like,
so
two and
Vori
two?
and Arrow were sharing a room, and Farron
Not
and
that-
Gregor were sharing a room.
Not that Arrow tends to use it, but I'm assuming Vori probably wouldn't be overly concerned if he wakes up and doesn't see Arrow, because
Precisely, which is what happens. The room is vacant. Something that might strike you as odd, I'm not sure because I can't ask Summer. But none of Arrow's stuff is here.
okay. He's not much of a morning person, so he probably barely notices anyway. Yeah, he'll just wake up and. Huh. That's odd. But shrug. So somebody died or something is happening. Oh well, not my problem. He'll just get up and wash his face and go about the day.
All right. So do the three of you meet up sort of in the bar area downstairs?
I think so.
Yeah. Farron's last as they have to do their stupid hairdo every single
Hair, makeup, jewelry, press the clothes.
Yeah, I mean today's an important day, right? You've got
Yep.
a competition to try and win.
Oh boy.
I believe is the competition over 3 days or 2, starting on the 6th. So it concludes tomorrow. So today will be the last day of sort of like eliminations where things will get narrowed down, and hopefully you'll make it through to tomorrow, where even more hopefully you'll be selected. After about
Are the bells still going?
yeah, they continue for about 30 minutes.
Holy
Is there
crap!
is there like a pattern to them that would indicate something?
No,
Someone who
it's
knows any of that shit?
just dong dong.
Just
dong,
ringing like
dong.
crazy? Alright.
Yeah, they're a little distant, so it's not like giving you a headache, but it's
It's not like somebody go find the bell ringer and kill him.
yeah. But it is a little unnerving, probably. You don't notice anyone else being particularly nervous once you come downstairs, so it's probably not that the city is under attack or anything.
Sure.
But it does sort of stick in your mind, that ringing that concludes probably sometime during your breakfast.
Sure. After Farron's come down, Vori is already working on breakfast and is just gonna give them a look and just nod. Oh, you're looking nicely radiant this morning.
Why, thank you. I tried my best. Is the bell thing normal?
Ostensibly, no. It means something has happened, but it could be one of any 12 things. Or a drunken bell ringer, for all we know.
Hey, it's really going to town on that.
Yes. Well,
Actually,
nobody seems to be completely upset, so...
Vori, you're from here.
Mhm.
You probably would have heard something like this before, when a high-ranking priest of the church would have died while you were
Sure.
living here. So you probably, even if you don't like exactly latch onto it, you get the sense that somebody's dead. This isn't like a
Yeah.
yay, the Duke had a kid. This isn't a
Yeah, no,
celebratory thing.
he probably, I figured he would know. It's like, oh, it's funeral bells. But, specifically
it's more urgent than that. Like a funeral bell would probably have some kind of a pattern to it, like a song to it, using multiple bells. This is more of like a somebody has died, mobilize people.
okay.
Which explains.
Oh, so
also,
like somebody has been murdered, kind
Yeah.
of? Okay. Well, sounds like somebody's been killed.
Hey, barkeep,
Well,
you
then.
know anything about what's going on, all the ruckus?
Can't say I do. Sorry.
Thanks anyway.
There been a rash of any sort of trouble around here lately?
Around here, not too much, though I did hear some interesting rumors about a strange woman in an alleyway. Night or two past. Some form of violence, but
Oh, well. Back alleyway, that says more than we need to know, I suppose.
indeed. Unfortunately inescapable in a city of this size.
That is true. Well, condolences to whomever was unfortunate enough to become a victim, I suppose. By the way, this is quite good.
Thank you. He'll go back to the bar, not at all catching that that incident had anything to do with you. Good job. Covering up for not murder. Kind of murder. Ghost
Listen,
murder?
we were kind of accessory to it in a way.
You have been charged with accessory to ghost murder. So, you can finish up your breakfast in relative peace as the city returns to normal. Farron, I assume you're headed off to the palace to go do your birdie thing.
Yeah, go do my birdie thing.
What about the other two of you? What are your plans?
I mean, Gregor doesn't have any particular business, so he'd
Moral-
probably
moral
just go
support?
and more or less.
Go and cheer on your bud.
Yeah.
Vori will kind of look around and just... Have we seen Arrow this morning, or is he off running around in the wild, you think?
I'm sure I'll pop up later today or something.
Well, at least we know he didn't have any harpies to go and apologize to, so that's one worry out of the way.
Oh, so Arrow disappears whenever he wants to, and it's cool. I do it once. Big thing.
Yes, well, I think we can count on Arrow to survive the wilderness on his own, and he also doesn't have a maniacal hammer.
Hey, listen. The maniacal hammer does its job.
That is an unfair characterization of my demeanor.
Ah, good morning, Skull Crusher, was it? I never remember your name.
My name is Skullbreaker.
Yeah,
I have
good
drank the
No.
blood of hundreds of people. I have feasted upon thousands of souls. All who know me tremble in fear.
Can the other patrons of the tavern hear this right
No.
now? Okay.
Boris just sitting here placidly drinking his coffee, looking rather self-satisfied.
Yes, you have successfully manipulated Skullbreaker into a tirade. Good work. He will take this as an invitation to share and begin talking about a campaign of war against some unsuspecting barony somewhere that he sieged and destroyed. And murdered
Is
everyone.
there any useful information in this tirade?
Not really.
Okay. Just a good war story.
Yeah, it's more of a how cool am I kind of thing. Like, it's more cred than
God.
meaning.
And then I single-handedly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
As I waded across the battlements, they flew stones and ballista bolts at me, but none could lay me low.
You are quite brave. Were. Now you're a hammer, so I guess it doesn't matter.
You would
You know,
be
maybe
wise
we
to
should have
respect your
entered
elders.
Skullbreaker in this showcase.
Farron has been writing down. Farron has been writing down a bit of what Skullbreaker's been saying.
Nice.
Well, now that we've had breakfast and story time, are you ready to go and perform?
I suppose I'll be as ready as I could possibly be at this point.
You'll be a delight. You'll win them all over, and anybody you don't, I can just burn them.
Oh, well, we'll see at the end of the day what people may have a bit of singeing in their clothing.
Of course.
Gregor's just gonna give Farron a hearty slap on the back. Which is probably
Probably a
a
little-
bit much. Whack!
A little bit of a wheeze.
Alright.
Was that really necessary?
I'm just showing my support for you, Farron.
Of course.
You might try showing your support in a less violently physical manner.
Nah.
Who am I to say anything? Well,
you-
shall we go?
So as
we
you
can.
so you head out of the tilted turn and into the
I totally forget that, like, Vori's pretty sure they're married.
Yep.
I'm like, wait, right?
This is exactly the three people I need to play with tonight. I'm loving it.
Basically assumes that they are a couple.
So you head out into the bright coastal sunlight of two rivers, walking down winding cobblestone streets across a few canals, and hello, friends. It's Dylan. So here's the deal. OBS kinda fucked some shit up and lost a solid 30 minutes of footage here. So that's fun. Let me recap for a moment, because while unfortunately we are missing many good jokes, fortunately not a whole lot happened in the plot department. So during this time, the party went out into rivers, heading off toward the palace so that Farron could continue their participation in the competition. Along the way, they ran into a sort of rough-looking fellow named Rupert that claimed to know Gregor. Two of them talked for a little bit, with Gregor trying pretty pointedly to extract himself from the conversation and avoid talking to this man. Rupert implied that they had some history, that some people missed him, and wasn't quite taking the hint. Asked Gregor what he was up to. Gregor said that he was hunting for treasure with Farron and Vori, and Rupert sort of took that to mean that he was taking these much weaker people out on work, on jobs, on work, and was just going to let them die and then take their shares. Which it says something about Rupert, but also the kind of person he thinks Gregor is. Gregor only managed to extract himself from that conversation by promising to meet Rupert back at the Tilted Turn later that evening, but once they extricated themselves, they managed to continue without any hassle to the palace. Hello and welcome back to the League. Team of Annihilation. Nope, that's not this show. Wow. I am so off my game. Friends, so YouTube. Hi, YouTube.
Is
I
it
blue
Tuesday
screened
yet?
again. Yeah, I decided I'm killing all of your characters.
Sweet. I'm sure we
Welcome.
can manage this module, right?
Welcome back to From Dust. Our Dungeon World game, which is not a Dungeons and Dragons Adventures League game. Fuck. I'm fine.
Okay,
Everything's
but
fine.
could we try that? Just play
I mean,
League, but Dungeon World.
Adventures League Dungeon isn't that just playing the rules? Really? And then writing about what loot you picked up. That's all Adventures League is. Yeah, hashtag pro streamer for sure. As I log back into Roll20 because I didn't do that over the break. So you entered this room. You have seen some familiar faces. What would you like to do? It's not immediately onto competing time,
Okay.
so you have a little bit of time to
yeah.
kill.
Fran's gonna walk over to Helga again.
Oh, hello.
Hello. Well, it seems that seems like we are once again up on stage today.
Of course. Maybe sometime we'll be up on stage together.
I would thoroughly look forward to that.
No?
How are you feeling this morning? I hope the bell didn't disturb your rest.
No, I'm an early riser. I like to get a head start on the day.
Of course.
Though it is unfortunate news, of course.
Well, from my understanding, yes, it's always a shame when somebody passes away and seemingly under unfortunate circumstances.
Indeed. Well, sorry to bring things into a bit of a black mood.
Don't worry about it. It's always a good idea to have one foot in reality. Besides, no way to tell stories and to pull from the interesting events that take place in the world.
That's an interesting way to look at it.
Well, don't all stories have at least a grain of truth in them?
I suppose the good ones do.
And Farron will kind of look over at the other competition, the Chamberlain.
Who are your
I
friends?
don't. Oh, what? You're like, yes. Kind of turns. If Roy and Gregor are right there.
Mhm.
Yes, these are my friends, Gregor and Vori.
Hi.
This is the most esteemed Helga. Why, quite the bard herself. Should have seen her yesterday, Vori. Brought the whole house down.
Oh,
You
delightful.
flatter me. She smiles like she
Barely.
knows you're not doing
Yeah,
anything
she-
other than telling the truth.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, there's two bards know. Yeah, and they know that she knows that she's
Mhm.
telling the truth.
Right then. Well, we'll let you talk shop, prepare. I don't know a damn thing about music, to be quite honest.
Well, just as long as you stay out of trouble. And then, like, Farron kind of gives Voria a wink.
Me? Of course. I never get in trouble. What are you talking about? I'll just go
Oh.
mingle.
And
He'll go do exactly that.
And
Alright.
Farron will turn to Helga and say, "Thank you for taking the time to chat with me as always. And I will let
Of
you to
course.
your warm up, of course,
Thank you. A pleasure as always.
as always. And if you happen to be around later to celebrate, I'm at the I can't remember the name off the top of my head.
Tilted
Place we're
Turn.
staying at. Tilted turn. It's like my brain was like, starts with a T.
Turn. It's an interesting place.
I've been enjoying it myself as I've been staying here, but the drinks there are quite fine.
I see. I learned a little bit about you. Thank you.
Baron's a little confused, but doesn't let that show as he kind of smiles and does that little half bow.
She'll
Walks off.
incline her head.
Yeah.
So Vori, you're mingling with people.
Yeah. He's mostly
You-
just meandering and people watching.
Okay. You see several people. You see a half-elf looking woman who is sort of warming up for some kind of juggling and dexterity act. You see a young human man who is sitting in like deep in the corner of the room with like a quill in his mouth and a piece of paper. You see a pair of figures all done up with theatrical makeup who are like doing facial warm-ups where they like move their faces in extreme directions.
All that stuff.
And of course, there are multiple musicians with various instruments that are doing their best not to make like too loud a noise in this room. Because like out in the courtyard yesterday, they could be as loud as they wanted, but now that they're inside, you can tell they all have this sort of hushed apprehension about them.
Sure. Yeah, none of it's particularly of interest to him. He's just here because he has nowhere else to be.
There's also the Chamberlain, who is eyeing you suspiciously.
He waves. Like he has every right in the world to be here.
He tuts.
Doesn't bother him.
Farron will walk over to Vori and says, I see you spotted my new biggest fan.
Mm-hmm. Do you want me to burn him?
Yeah. Tempting, but maybe
I'm
not yet.
sure he's very likely to sit next to a lantern or candle that just might jump.
The juggler leans over and says, "Wait, are we allowed to juggle torches in here? I thought we weren't."
I
Oh,
don't
what a
believe we're
shame.
allowed to. We're just speaking exaggeration.
Oh, okay. Sorry to interrupt.
No, it's fine. I'm sure you'll be wonderful.
Thank you. What act do you do?
Oh, I'm just here with him.
Oh, okay.
Them.
She like,
Chocolate just like,
smiles
Fair,
approvingly
fair.
and goes back to where she was practicing.
oh boy. And Farron kind of again looks around. Okay. And kind of, doing a bit of a surveillance of, what the tone is here, like what's the feel of the room.
The tone is it's nervous. Most everyone here appears like they are out of their element. The only people that look sort of relaxed in this space are the two presumably thespians with the makeup and whatnot, and Helga. The three of them seem perfectly comfortable where they are. But everyone else, you're getting the sense, and maybe it's a certain amount of projection, but you're getting the sense that they haven't spent a whole lot of time in castles and palaces before.
Okay, yeah.
So I'm curious about that, actually. How much court performance has Farron done?
Farron has done a handful. There's a reason why they have the loot they have.
Mm-hmm.
Which, the first couple times was like, the king or whatever. And then the next few were by the crown prince, who really wanted some private performances after the first two. Let's just say that after the fifth one, Farron left with a very nice loot.
Well, good work.
So it's not Farron's usual element, but it's not foreign.
All right. After a short while, a large clock on the wall tolls the hour, and the Chamberlain straightens up and begins the organization and orchestration of this competition. There's a list this time of the order in which everyone is going. If you wanted to try and sneak a peek at that.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a quick look.
All right. So you can take a look without the Chamberlain noticing, maybe, or you can just say you don't care if the Chamberlain notices and go for it.
What's the Chamberlain gonna do? Change the?
Who knows?
Yeah, the Chamberlain would.
Mm.
Farron's gonna just try to be discreet about it, but if they get caught, they're gonna play it off smooth.
Okay, I think this is a defy danger. The danger here is that the Chamberlain's going to notice and have some feelings about it.
Okay.
It sounds to me like you're using charm and social grace, though.
Yeah.
So go ahead and roll plus charisma. A 9! That's pretty good! That's pretty good. So you stumble, hesitate, or flinch. Jim will offer you a worse outcome, hard bargain, or an ugly choice. Ooh, I know what it is. You see the list, and your name isn't on it.
Fucking asshole. Okay.
So now you know that you haven't been put in the lineup anywhere. But how you will go about solving that problem is up to you.
Yep. Okay. So Farron, again, kind of discreetly looks over. And I think if like Voya and Gregor are watching, see their brows kind of furrow. And it's a very unusual expression on their face. They normally don't look explicitly unhappy.
Yeah. Vori will come over and just look. Is this list just like sitting on a table somewhere?
It's
or
the
whatever?
Chamberlain is holding it, and so as
Oh,
the
okay.
Chamberlain is looking, like has their back to you and is looking at this first performance, you can catch a glance of it over their shoulder.
Okay. Gosh, how much of a piece of shit do I want to be right now?
Be the piece
I don't
of
know. It's
shit.
your piece of shit.
Be the piece of shit.
Okay, first things first. He'll just lean over to Farron. Something disturb you about what he's got in his hand?
It's rather he doesn't have, which is my name.
Oh, that little list?
Yes.
Do you want to put your name on it?
Well, that is the point of me being here, going on and performing, and clearly if I'm not on the list, means that the good man over there has no intention of having me go on.
I think I can fix that. One moment. If nobody stops him, he's gonna go approach the Chamberlain.
Okay. Yeah. There's one of the people who's performing right now. It's the young man that was writing. He's reciting some poet or some poems, like sonnet or something.
Okay. Let's see. I want to make sure I have the thing I need here. I think I do. Do I?
I don't know.
I think I forgot to put an ability on my thing. Shit.
Uh-oh.
Well, anyway. We'll go with it. I'm rolling with it. I'm gonna try to make him think it's his idea.
Okay, so what are you doing? Like,
Okay,
in fiction,
so-
what is Vorri doing?
Well, first things first, he's gonna kind of try to jostle into the guy and maybe make him drop the list. Just sort of be like he stumbled or got shoved or something by someone nearby. So he can get his hands on the list.
And you're trying to do that without this guy noticing that it was you?
No.
Okay.
I want to be, the end result here is that I want to be able to hand him back the list and be like, oh, I just happened to notice someone is missing.
Okay. That's gonna be sort of the same dealio, right? You're acting despite an imminent threat, right? And the imminent
Sure.
threat is you're gonna get kicked out.
Sure.
You're just gonna get thrown out of the palace. And it seems like you're doing that with Charm and Social Grace.
Actually, no. This
Okay.
would be like two things. I just want to do that so I can get my eyes on the list.
Right, that's what I'm saying. In order to get the list, it's
Mm-hmm.
there's contention about whether you're going to be able to get the list out of his hands.
Oh, okay.
And hand it back to him without him being like, "The fuck are you doing?"
Never mind then.
Are you sure? I mean, the worst thing that happens is you earn XP.
No, I can't figure. Oh, there's the thing. Okay, I did have it on here. I don't remember the names of these things. We'll do this more nicely.
All right.
He's just going to kind of approach. Pardon me. Sorry to interrupt you.
Yes.
I couldn't help but notice that my friend's name here doesn't seem to be anywhere on any of the proceedings. We were understood that they were to perform here.
Oh.
I don't suppose you could
Right.
fix that. You look like you're in charge, like you seem to know what you're doing, and an oversight like this would not be acceptable, right? Could you just put him back on there?
Trying to think if there's a move here.
That is Firebrand. He's using
Oh.
force of will here.
Oh, okay. Okay.
He wants him to
so-
think like, yeah, oh, this is my idea. Yes, I'm definitely doing that.
So Firebrand says what? It says when you.
Introduce a new idea to an NPC.
Okay.
The idea here is you want to put his name on the list so you don't get in trouble for fucking up, right?
All right. Yeah. Go ahead and roll the move. See how this goes.
I mean, I suck, so.
Jesus.
Well, sorry.
Rip.
I tried.
So does it say what happens on a miss?
They respond negatively, speaking out against the idea, so.
Oh
he's
no!
gonna be himself.
I was really
Well, you
hoping
know.
it was one of those moves that doesn't say what happens on a miss, and then I could just come up with something. Okay.
Nope.
So.
Nope.
Excuse me. Do you deign to imply that you know how to do the job of a chamberlain better than I do? I will add names to this list as they are deemed necessary. Thank you very much.
Suit yourself.
The poet is crestfallen because clearly no one is paying attention to him. As this outburst has drawn the attention of everyone in the room.
Well, it's on you if you choose not to do your job correctly, I suppose. It is your job, not mine.
I'm sorry. Do I need to have you removed from the premises?
You can try.
Very well. And he'll go to the door and open the door to speak to the guards. He'll
Does he
like
still-
one of the guards leans into the room like, okay, and he points at you, and the
Looking
guard,
as innocent as possible.
the guard looks back to the Chamberlain and nods and walks in. All right, come on, it's time to go for a walk.
Of course.
Escort you out of the room. There's some muttering behind you as you continue.
He's going along quietly, because, well, why not make this guy look like he's overreacting instead?
Absolutely. And the guard is like, so, what happened?
He's trying to block my friend from performing for some reason. So he's rather indiscreetly kept his name from being on the list, despite being a perfectly amicable performer. I don't think it's quite right.
He's a little like that sometimes. I'm sorry
And-
about
Does he always have a stick like that up his ass?
that. You're in a palace. You shouldn't speak like that.
Yes, of course. Terribly sorry,
But
country boy.
speaking more delicately, yes.
I don't envy you your job, then.
Well, it's a good job. Pays well and it's important, so it's better than
Fair
digging
enough.
ditches or graves.
That's true. Well, since apparently I'm kicked out, I suppose I'm your problem now.
Yeah, he's escorting you through the halls, and as you move past along an exterior wall to the building, you sort of like absently look out the window, and you see a figure out in the streets, like outside the curtain wall of the fortress, out in the city proper. You see a figure in blue armor with their hair done up in a top knot, as they like round a corner just out of your vision.
He'll note that, but he's not gonna just take off. 'Cause I
Right.
think they're still technically on castle property.
Yeah, your friend. Which one?
Farron, the elf.
Oh, right. The Chamberlain doesn't like him.
For some reason, has no interest in letting them perform, and I don't understand why.
Strange. The lady had a particularly positive response to him yesterday.
Where is she, if you don't mind? Am I asking?
I can't just tell you where the royal family is.
Well, no, but you could tell me where she isn't. That might take longer, though.
Or maybe I get you outside like I'm supposed to, and I walk by her quarters.
Sounds like a plan to me. I will quietly go along and be a good boy.
Good. See? My job's not that bad.
No, don't need to make your job harder than it already is. I'm glad we agree.
And we cut back in to the room where this competition is happening. They're about halfway through the list now, and the room didn't really stop whispering about that scene that Vori caused. Like, who was that guy? Like, who isn't on the list? Am I not on the list? I'm on the list, right? Like, as sort of this time ticks on, and this section of the competition is much shorter than yesterday. How's Farron feeling as time ticks away?
Yeah, Farron's trying, had put the smile back on, but just kind of looking over at the Chamberlain every once in a while, and just like trying to think, like, why the fuck do you not like me? Like, usually, he knows why people don't like him at any given point, and the Chamberlain is just like, why?
Are you like trying to examine him and like get a feel for him?
Yeah, I'm getting a bit of a feel for him.
Okay.
Does he not like elves?
So that sounds
Yeah,
like
yeah, so
discern
that's my brain
realities.
So Farron's brain is going through being like, okay, is it this? Is it this? No, that person's like that too.
So it sounds like a discern realities check
Okay.
to me. Because you were closely studying a situation or person, so that'll be plus wisdom.
Alright. 9.
A 9? Okay. On a 7 to 9, you get to ask one off of the list, which is
okay.
there in chat.
My brain's trying to figure out which of these will answer the question I have. I guess what here is not what it appears to be.
You notice as the juggler goes up to perform, the half elf woman, that he is notably disinterested in her act, and you are definitely getting the sense that he has some feelings toward elves in particular that you are facing the brunt of.
Great, cool, love fantasy racism.
This guy's a prick.
Yeah, and like
He's not a nice guy.
there's a couple of things like Farron has done to change things with the situation. They can't change that they're an elf. So, has Helga gone, or is she going up next? Cause
She has not gone. She is at the end of the list.
okay. So Farron's gonna walk over to her, fairly discreetly.
She's paying attention to the juggler, but she'll like acknowledge your approach.
Yeah, and so I guess right next to Helga until the act ends, and there's the applause and the shift of acts. And Farron will just turn to Helga and say, "Well, unfortunately, it seems that perhaps I won't be able to, well, grace the same stage as you.
Is that so?
Unfortunately, it seems a little out of my control, as the big man over there has decided that I am not suitable for performance."
She narrows her eyes a little bit as she looks at him. Has he?
Well, if having my name off the list says anything, I would imagine that's what it means.
I see. Well, I would hate to see you wrongfully removed. You are, and she looks at the other performers, sort of appraising them for a moment, definitely worthy of your presence here.
You flatter me so.
I have an idea.
I always
What?
love ideas.
What if we perform together?
Farron definitely kind of...
If we make it to tomorrow, which I'm sure we will, at that point he will have a very hard time not taking notice of you, and I'm sure we can compete like normal.
Farron just kind of inclines their head respectfully. If you would so deign me the honor, my dear. I would be, well, more than happy to.
The honor is mine. I like showing people up. She says, looking dead at the Chamberlain.
Oh, Farron likes her. Farron already liked her, and now she's like, ooh.
And now you've learned something about me.
Indeed. I think I like what I'm learning about you so far.
The feeling's mutual.
Yeah.
Some time passes as the acts go through, and we reach Helga's turn, and you see the Chamberlain smugly like set his board down, like with the list on it down, and just like give you this "I've won" look. And
I don't do that in game.
yeah, but in his mind, right?
Yeah.
Helga steps up to the stage and sits down on the stool and tunes her lute. She's playing this up super hard as she draws this out, and you can hear like some some coughs and like as people settle in to get really quiet. And then she says, Farron, would you join me?
And Farron will stride up with all the confidence. But again, it's confidence without the arrogance. It's the, I am here.
So,
And we'll shoulder off their own loot as well.
it has come to my attention that some things have changed regarding this competition. So I figured, why not play with the change? And she'll turn to you. The song is your choice.
Okay. Yeah, so Farron, knowing that they can't pull out like one of their own, goes with a one of the classic ones. He's making a maiden and a dragon, but they end up falling in love as the king sends princes and knights after her. But it's the strength of their love, and they're able to show everyone that love in all forms is good, no matter what other people think.
Love it. So I don't think there's a roll here. I think you just do it. And as you perform, you see the same guard from before open the door to the room, and you see that woman from earlier standing in the doorway watching the performance. And she seems particularly taken with it, as sort of the lingering notes of your singing and the two of your lutes sort of echo back at you off of the stone walls of this room. You see the Chamberlain stand fuming, and Helga looks to the door and says, "Oh, Lady Octoberg, it's such an honor for you to hear us perform. Wasn't Farron lovely?"
And Farron
And-
will do a deep bow.
The Chamberlain stands like petrified as he realizes the trap he has walked into, and the lady will walk into the room and approach you. It was beautiful. I never in all of my years have I heard music like the two of you just made.
I am deeply honored by your very kind words, my lady. Of course, many thanks and gratitude to Helga here, who has helped me here and has definitely held more than her own.
Did she? It seemed like the two of you were helping each other. And as this happens, you see the Chamberlain like desperately writing on his board.
Yep.
Well, I am sure that I will see the two of you tomorrow. And you see the entire room go, oh. Not fair.
No.
And she'll wait for you
Farron
to
will bow
bow or
again.
something. Yeah.
Yeah, Farron,
And
Farron will bow again.
as you show your deference, she'll leave the room, and the guard like makes a show of not looking in through the door. He just stands there and it's like, "Yep, just in a day's work." And I would like to cut for a moment to a character that we have not seen today. I would like to cut to Arrow. And we see Arrow surrounded by greenery, plains, with his back to a tree, and he's sitting on the ground, looking out, and he's sitting there with a whetstone, sharpening his sword. And we hear the call of a bird, and he looks up, waits, and then returns to sharpening his sword. And with that, we are going to go to our second and final break of the evening. As a reminder, we are having a shorter show tonight, so we're gonna take a step away, and when we come back, we will find out what happens, presumably with the final day of this competition. See you soon. Hello, and welcome back to From Dust, which is the show that we are on tonight, not any other show. This is definitely From Dust, and has been all night. So, the winners, or the people who are moving on to the final stage, which will be a performance in the throne room in front of Lady Ochterberg and her father, the Duke. That list is given to you. You made it, of course, as did Helga, as separate entries, because you were both on the list the entire time, for sure. And then the actors passed, and the poet passed. So the four of you will be back here tomorrow to perform. But you have your evening, so I think we come back to you as you're walking out the front gate of the palace. Vori, are you waiting for them there, or did you go off elsewhere?
Yeah.
Okay. So we
There's
see
nothing else to do.
we see Farron and Gregor and Helga walking out. What do you do?
Well, how did it go?
Farron had a bit of a shit-eating grin on their face. Just a little bit.
Farron did wonderfully.
Good to
Many
know.
thanks to you.
Oh, brother.
Well, a lute is only as in tune as its worst tuned string.
How
But-
sage.
Gregor
Perhaps
doesn't
you were
get
the
it.
one who gave.
Before he just pats Gregor on the shoulder.
He's like,
Gregor's like, but the other strings are in tune, so it's more in tune overall, right?
Gregor is just the equation gift right now.
It's the Zach Galifianakis one.
I owe you more than a drink tonight. Perhaps many, perhaps dinner.
I think I could be persuaded for some food. You have a particular place in mind?
I mean, I'm, well, a traveler to these places, so I was only really able to stay at the Tilted Turn, and their fare is decent, but if you have any particular place in mind, I don't mind trying out something different.
I think I know somewhere that you will enjoy.
Oh, that sounds like a plan.
Small place. It's called Jansen's, and she'll give you like an address.
Mhm.
Say we meet there at sundown.
I will see you there.
Lovely. She'll incline her head a little bit to Gregor and Vori, and then like reach out and give your hand a quick squeeze by way of goodbye. And then she'll head off, playing her lute as she goes.
Cool.
Are you two going on a date? What was that?
I wouldn't put it as a date quite yet, but I'm just thanking her. She was able to find a loophole. Invited me on stage while it was her turn.
Oh, well,
Together, and, well, seems like a good man back there saw the error of his ways.
oh, delightful. Well, have a wonderful time, I suppose.
I hope you were treated fine by the guards.
Oh, yes, that was delightful company. Him I like. The Chamberlain needs to find a way to get that stick out of his ass before it kills him.
It sits too hard and it pierces his heart.
Pretty much.
Oh, well, that whole man is an ass, so I just can't imagine it being too hard.
A stray cat walks up to you.
Yes, Bori is currently involved with a stray cat.
He's just sitting on the side, just being like,
Yep.
cat.
Yep, he found the stray cat and he's been hanging out with it. Yes, I know. Don't give me that look.
It like rolls onto its back.
Has that been here the whole time?
Well,
Listen, I have a kinship with these creatures, all right?
yeah, it seems. Well then, what time of day is it actually?
It's the mid-afternoon, so you've got a couple hours before sundown.
Well, I have a couple of hours, so, well, time to kill at this point. Do any of you have anything that you need to do?
I'm pretty good shopped right now. My business here is done. Ah, shit, I gotta meet Rupert later. Ugh.
Oh, right.
Ew.
That guy.
You
You
both
did
have a
promise
date.
that.
Well, you two have all the fun. I will leave you to it.
Where, what is Vori going to do to occupy his time?
Probably just go back to the inn. He mostly just wants to get out of this fucking town.
Get me out of here! Alright,
Yup.
then we are going to, cut to a location distant, where there actually aren't a whole lot of... Maybe there are cats. Are there cats at Unclume? Jess?
I don't know. Sure, I guess.
Is it like
There might as well be.
Is it like a whole thing? Are there like lots of cats, or are there a couple cats? Does one of the three
Maybe-
that you know have a cat?
Maybe it's one of those. It's like that island that has a whole pile of just wild cats that
Here
get fed
for it.
sometimes by the people.
Here for it. We see three people that we've seen previously on screen in a nightmare that Vori had a couple weeks back. We see an elvish woman who is dressed in sort of the eastern coastal attire of like Two Rivers and the the place that I can't remember the name of. Let me move the map real quick. Cape Symbol. I knew it started with a C. I was like, Carp? No. Cape Symbol. To the north of Two Rivers. There is also a young man with like long, sort of platinum blonde hair, who's wearing like military cut clothes, and another elvish woman who is wearing similar clothes to the man, but more formalized, less meant for battle. And they're in a room sitting like cross-legged at a table, and things seem to be sort of heated as the first elvish woman, Mira, stands up from the table. I don't care. He's been gone for too long. Either something has happened, or he's found something, and we should know. The two of you have been focused on your duties, and your duties are not the maintenance of this city. People are losing faith. If we let this go on for too long, we could lose everything. The man replies, his name is Etienne. Mira, you worry too much. He will return when he needs to. In the meantime, we keep doing what we have always done. We send people out, we look, we find. His absence changes nothing. I am sure. He gestures to the other woman, Silverell. Whatever he is doing, it is for the spiritual betterment of all of us. Give him time. And Silverell looks between the two of them. I must admit, I am, if not worried, confused. He said nothing before he left. But it is as you say, Etienne. Vorial knows what is best for all of us. You must trust him. And we're gonna cut back to Gregor. You are back at the Tilted Turn. Are you inside the Tilted Turn, or are you standing outside, sort of like deciding if you're gonna go in or not?
I'd like to say, if Rupert wasn't there already, Gregor would probably already be in nursing a drink or something.
All right, so we see you at the bar, and then a hand slaps on your back. Gregor! Get this man another drink. Of course.
Hey, Rupert.
Hey. So, looks you up and down. Looks like you didn't get too hurt. Don't see your pals. Good payout?
Bit of a dud, you know.
Oh, that's too bad.
Got a bad lead. Didn't find nothing.
Yeah, I mean,
Gregor takes a really hefty chunk of his drink.
That's the problem with monster hunting. Whatever he's having, give me one of those. And as the barkeep sort of moves away to pour that, he'll lean in. You know, monsters dangerous, and you never quite know what they have. But people always have something.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like, why hold up people for chump change when you can do one good solid job and get a really good pay out of it?
Because someday, people, like, whatever it is you're doing, will get rid of the monsters. But they're not going to get rid of the people. The people will always be there. They'll always need to take their stuff somewhere.
Oh, how's that business been treating you?
About that. Oh, thank you. He, like, moves into this conversational tone as the barkeep comes close, grabs the mug, takes a sip. Good stuff. Thanks for covering that, by the way.
Oh yeah, right.
The barkeep sort of looks at the two of you semi-suspiciously, like trying to judge the energy between the two of you. but he goes back to working with the other patrons. It's going pretty well. Bruno's got us moved to a new spot. We've been recruiting. It's actually part of why I'm glad I ran into you.
Yeah?
It seems honestly like the sort of stuff you would have been really good at. I mean, Bruno's got a flair. He can, I mean, he can get people working. But he's a little distant. I'm not gonna lie. He's got this bigger picture that a lot of the boys don't quite see.
Bigger picture, like what?
I don't really know, and honestly, I probably shouldn't talk too much about it in the middle of a tavern, but you, like, you work well with people like Bruno, but you understand us.
Yeah.
Things were better when you were around.
Yeah, thanks. That's flattering. That's great.
So what do you say? You want to ditch the two wimps you were with earlier and come back to something a little more meaningful?
Oof. Tempting, but we're following this really big lead right now. Like, yeah, I know, kind of, like I said, didn't really work out tonight, but every step's leading to this really big thing, and I'm expecting a really huge payoff from it. So maybe if things don't work out,
think that this is a defy danger, and the danger is he's going to be horribly offended. Does that sound reasonable to you?
Sure.
So this will be with charisma.
Okay.
Which is Gregor's best stat.
It's not his dump stat.
That's good.
That's intelligence.
Oh no. Sorry, I've got a thing. Always a valid and not suspect excuse. True. 7 to 9. Okay. You stumble, hesitate, or flinch. The GM will offer you a worse outcome, hard bargain, or ugly choice. So, worse outcome, a hard bargain, or an ugly choice. Okay, I'm gonna give you what you want. Sort of. I'm giving you a worse outcome. So he's gonna buy it, but you're on his radar now, and he's gonna talk about you when he gets back.
Okay.
All right. You chase after your cash cows. I respect that.
Hey, listen, I know it sounds like, a far cry, but trust me, in a couple weeks, I'm gonna be rolling dough.
Yeah, well, when you do, you make yourself visible somewhere. Maybe we can talk again.
Yeah, that'd be great.
All right. Thanks for the drink, by the way.
Hey, anytime. Hey, great to see you.
You too. And I'll, shake your hand. And he'll head out.
Alright. As Gregor's gonna, look around a bit. And as soon as he feels confident he's gone, he's just gonna be like, can I get another one?
Sure thing. It's your money. I'll give you another drink. And we're gonna cut to a much nicer part of town. Farron, you're not super familiar with the city. Did you plan for that? Did you schedule yourself extra time to get there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Farrah did not want to be late for this.
So I think you're there first, then. And the place, Jansen's, is nice. So restaurants are a little different than modern day, right? It's not like you have this storefront. Cafes kind of exist in some cities at this point, but the go sit down, have a menu restaurant, not so much. It's more of you're gonna go and you're gonna get whatever food is made for you. And if it's a nice place that's dedicated just to food, which this place seems to be quite nice, then it'll be good food. Otherwise, it's gonna be tavern fare without the place to stay. But here you see there's some form of like bouncer or bodyguard or like security person who's standing outside who like eyes you sort of suspiciously as you wait. But at the point where they notice your attire, they sort of like bow their head and nod and understand what's going on. Looking in through the window, maybe absently while you wait, you can see like white silk tablecloths and like golden candelabra. This is a nice fucking place to go for dinner. And I want to know, have you eaten at places like this before, or is this out of your usual?
This is out of fair and usual. Again, they've only really been in Sanctuary.
Mhm.
And even then, you don't get the money from playing at these places. That's not what Farron's clientele is.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, okay.
So you sort of like are
A
you
little
feeling
nervous.
nervous? Okay.
A little nervous. Like,
this
again,
is-
hiding it behind the easygoing smile, but kind of like, okay.
Yeah, I mean, you earned a pretty hefty pile of money recently. Like if you look at your coin, you've got a lot. So this is an interesting space for Farron. We're like, yeah, this is outside your usual ken, but it's within your means at the moment. And so I don't know if that makes you more nervous or less. And I don't know that Farron has time to analyze those feelings either, as across the street, Helga comes out of a rather nice looking house. And she walks across. She looks amazing. Whereas before she was very much in this like performer's outfit, she's changed into a pair of like embroidered pants and a buttoned shirt with like nice loose sleeves and a similarly embroidered vest over that. Her hair is down and she's got these big like hoop earrings that are like two metals entwined together. Oh, nice to see you're here already. I hope I didn't keep you waiting too long.
Not long at all, then. Well, if you were getting ready, I say that it should head off. And Farron's definitely taking in how she looks.
She notices. Shall we go in?
Farron will offer their arm.
She'll take it. She'll smile and wave at the bouncer who like waves back.
Okay. So, yeah, walk in. And Farron's just been like, alright. This is just like a performance, just gotta keep the facade on.
So you're seated at a table. There may be two other groups in here, and there's space for like maybe three more past that. The two parties that you see at these tables, they're distant enough that like no one can eavesdrop on each other, but you can tell that they're like probably nobles or merchants that are quite well off. She'll sit down and look across the table at you through the fire of the candles. So what brought you to Two Rivers specifically? What about this place called to you? If you don't mind my asking.
Of course not. Common courtesy, I suppose. Well, I was with my companions, and we heard some rumors about, well, threats around the city.
I see. Would these be the harpies?
Well, seems like you're quite well informed. Yes, that was what we were looking into.
I didn't take you as much of a fighter. Interesting.
Well, I am not much of a fighter myself, but well, I'm there to help support.
Interesting. A bard helping with monster hunting.
There's some
like that.
decent money. And besides, it takes me to different places and meeting interesting people.
Have you always been a bard?
Ah, well, that's always the question. As an artist, has always been an artist. Performer, always been a performer. But in terms of vocations, I suppose, yes, I've been a bard for as long as I could work.
Well, the practice shows.
Several years of it, I'm blessed with.
I quite
Not to
liked,
say I was any good. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Not to say I was any good when I first started, but
Were any of us, really? I quite liked our performance together today.
we had quite the synergy, I must say, and if the audience reaction was to gauge anything, seemed like we did quite the job.
I think you're right. And around this time, some appetizers are brought out along with some aperitifs, some pre-food booze. Well, I didn't mean to interrogate you right out the gate.
I don't mind. It's not, well, not the worst question I've ever had.
No?
No.
Well, I'm glad to hear I'm not the worst.
I can't imagine you'd be the worst with anything.
You're too kind.
If I may return the question to you, have you always been a bard?
I haven't. I wish I could say that I was, but alas, no. My father was a tailor, so my first job was helping him make clothes. It was so boring. It was creative, but in such a stifling, restrictive way. Everybody wanted you to make the things they wanted. They wanted you to make the clothes that were in fashion this season. Then some noble would spill wine on her dress, and everyone would want red dresses now. Red dresses are the thing. We'd spend everything getting red fabric for their dresses, and then 3 months later, oh no, we're trying riding pants now. It was all too much. I didn't feel like I could make for myself.
Yes, unfortunately, well, stiflers of creativity are everywhere.
Indeed. I had a bit of a time where I felt like you, that adventure would take me new and interesting places. So I tried that for a time. Went about, did odd jobs, stayed in honestly pretty dangerous taverns. But eventually something changed, and I found this.
Well, I think your worldliness and your experience definitely shows. It's not like you're detached from the world, instead you speak to it.
That is my hope. I think there are many people who are happy to be a part of something without making a mark of their own. Just letting the thing be them. I don't want to do that. When I die, I want the world to know my name. You know?
I know, probably better than you think I do. To be remembered in history and perhaps be told of in stories in the future. And perhaps even just having our own songs being sung several centuries from now. Huh. Isn't that a little part of us still living on?
I suppose it is. I like your perspective. I feel like I could hear you talk about these things for hours.
Very well. Look.
Jess, your face.
Trying not to gag on my dinner.
New goal. Make Jess boss.
Yeah, fair and well, we'll grin. Well,
So do you
I don't particularly have any plans for the rest of tonight.
Wonderful. I'm staying just across the street. I could have Jansen pack things up for us.
Well, I wouldn't say no to your plans.
Wonderful. And we're gonna fade to black on that. We return in the morning to Farron, I guess, returning to the tilted turn, maybe? Or are you gonna go back home before the competition, or are you just gonna stay with Helga and go with her?
I will probably go back just to freshen myself up again.
Okay.
But yeah. Just before I leave, give a little, same, kiss on the hand and
Yeah. See you later.
yeah, a little see you later.
All right. She'll give you some like I look forward to it response, and probably something like a little over competitive and like I'm sorry you're gonna lose. So back at the tilted turn, Vori and Gregor, you see Farron come in the door.
Well, I assume you had a nice night.
Indeed, I suppose I did, and I hope yours was fine.
Uneventful, which I guess is fine. You've got one more performance to do, yes? And then we can leave this place.
Well, Farron considers being like, okay, do I tell about this story? The birthday party that'll be happening later on. Be like, we'll see how this one goes.
Right. Well then. Our resident wild child is not back yet.
Still,
I have no idea where he is.
Farron looks at her. Did everything go well? Name something.
I'll say,
Oh.
Gregor is like noticeably kind of like spacing out.
Yeah.
And it is noticeably not Gregor like. And
Yeah.
he's like, oh, yeah, that was good.
Your and turns to Rory and said, "I'm so glad I'm not the only one who noticed that he's terrible. You know,
Yeah, I went upstairs to
I'm not terrible.
some quiet time. What did you tell the friend of yours?
or rather, what did he say to you?
Nothing, just, recounting the old times and stuff.
The old times. What exactly does that entail?
Kid stuff.
No, I don't actually.
Hey, don't we
half
have a
raised in a
performance to
church.
get to?
Is it too early to start drinking?
I don't know, is it? How's Rory feeling?
You know,
One for the road?
one for the road might be in order
Alright.
to cope with this day. Let it
So-
be known
oh.
that the player does not endorse day drinking, however. Regardless
Real
of what my
quick.
disaster child of a character may or may not do.
Real quick, Gregor, could you drop
Aye.
3 coin for
Okay.
covering drinks last night?
Dropping 3.
Alright, and then Farron, I'm gonna see if there's a preset amount for like really nice food. I doubt it, but let's see. Gifts and finery, no. Services, I think for last night's dinner you're looking at like 30 coin. So it was that's real pricey.
Yep, real pricey, but Farron's not gonna make a comment about it. For anyone. Their money.
All right. So you heading off to the palace then? So
Yeah, I think
as before, you're led inside, escorted this time not to some side chamber, but directly to the audience chamber, which is it's classic. It's vaulted ceiling, these walls with high windows, and there are pillars running along. There's a huge carpet that runs up the center. It's ostentatious, but one good thing about it is the acoustics are real nice. And
Hello.
you
Gregor just testing it out.
Oh, yeah.
everyone in the room looks at you. There are probably 20 guards in this room, and at the end you can see a set of thrones. There's a big throne in the middle. There's a slightly smaller throne to the right of that, and to the left of the large throne there's an even smaller throne. And the middle one is occupied. There's a man sitting there, and then on the one to the left, the smallest of the 3 thrones, you see the young woman that you saw the day before.
I hope their decorator is dead, because if he's not, he should be.
You are not the last to arrive this time. You get there after Helga, but before the other 2 acts, the other 3 performers, and she'll smile at you as you enter and give a polite wave, and then go back to getting ready.
Yeah. Farron will do the same kind of incline to the head. And probably a little bit of a wink there too, discreet one.
The Chamberlain enters next, and he walks up, his like wood-heeled shoes clicking loudly on the stone floor as he approaches the Duke and the lady. Your Eminence, the other performers should be here soon, and once they are, we shall get this commenced. Is there anything I can do for you in the meantime? The Duke will, like, and he's doing this very performatively, where he's speaking loudly so everyone can hear him. And the Duke will respond sort of hushed. Yes, of course. It shall be as you say. And the lady, she just sort of gives him a bit of a side eye and, like, waves, like, no, I'm fine. He bows deeply and heads off. He's pointedly not looking at you this time. Like, he's not giving you dirty looks, he's just not looking at you. And he goes out through a servant's entrance in the side of the room. Is there anything you would like to do while you wait for the other performers?
Other than just a normal warm-up, probably not.
Okay.
Fran has some interesting feelings right now in terms of this whole competition situation.
Yeah. You don't say.
Yeah. On one hand, they know that Helga is by far the better performer. At least that's what they fully believe. And they totally believe that Helga should get it. But it's the combination of, like, but also I don't want to look like I'm being easy.
Mm-hmm. You don't want to, like, give her an easy win.
Yeah, no. Both as, like, a pride thing and also, like, I don't want to insult her.
Yeah.
By, throwing this away. So kind of like this, And also, like, clearly my friends don't want to be here for much longer, and I'm like... So Farron's head's kind of calculating right now everything. Being like, okay, how's this gonna go?
Alright. After a couple, maybe slightly awkward minutes, the other three enter the room, and you are going second. The poet is again going first, and then after you will be the two actors, and then Helga will again bring up the rear. The poet does an okay job. His poem is beautiful. Whatever, like, the words that he wrote are truly moving, but his delivery is marred by the shaking in his voice, the audible shaking of the papers in his hands, and the overall just stumbling over the meter of the poem, as he clearly is incapable of shaking the nerves. There are some words exchanged between the Duke and the Chamberlain, and you see the lady doesn't speak up. She doesn't, like, interact with that conversation. She just lets it happen. And then the Chamberlain will politely thank the poet and excuse him from the chamber. And the poet will, like, look crestfallen, and you see, like, maybe a tear rolling down his cheek as he walks out of the room. The bard Farron of Rear.
Yeah, Farron will step up onto the stage.
See the lady straightens up in her seat.
Okay, and, like, he definitely gives a bow towards the Duke and the lady, and gives a nod to the Chamberlain.
Purses his lips.
Of course he does. and Farron's calculations have gone through their head to how to approach the situation. And they pull out the lute, do a few opening chords, and start a song that Gregor recognizes. And I don't know if Vori does yet, but first opening verse is, "Hear my tale, the midnight fair, the justice she brings to these lands. She conquers the evil that plague all our lives with a lance held gently in her hand." And it's a short song, and maybe not quite the right tone, but the emotions and the basic technique is all there. And that's Farron's compromise. I think Vori probably has heard it at some point. Yeah.
I would like... Actually, no. I want to ask you, do you want to roll for this? Do you want to, let fate have a say in how well it goes? Or do you want to just let it stand and we can move forward with the fiction?
I think I kind of just want to let it stand.
Okay. The song echoes back to you off of the stone ceilings and walls of this chamber, and the Chamberlain turns to the Duke, and the Duke replies and nods, and the lady looks up and is clearly listening, and you see a couple emotions flicker across her face, but you can't quite catch all of them, and then the Chamberlain says, "Thank you for participating, Farron. Your skill is apparent, and you have brought great honor to yourself and your family in trying." And he'll let the implication stand, and then the lady will speak up. "Just a moment. I'd like him to stay. I want to hear the others first." And the Duke is like, "Yeah, sure, whatever. Just get this, keep this moving." And so the two actors go next. They do a comedic play about a farmer and a talking rabbit that tricks the farmer out of all of their crops, and they elicit some laughs from you, especially the group of you, and a couple laughs from the lady, but it seems like the nobles have a hard time relating to the humor that is present in this particular skit, and so ultimately they are asked to leave. And finally Helga steps up, and she says, "First, I would like to thank both of you, Duke, lady, for even allowing us to attempt at greatness in your presence. Truly, no matter your answer, these past few days have been an honor." And she bows a little bit and then sings a song and strums her lute. And the song, where we left off, supposedly, according to the people in Zoom, I was just about to describe Helga's song, so I will do that now. As she sings and plays, she tells a story about a young noblewoman who is overlooked by her parents and overshadowed by her sisters, and after a time she leaves home to travel the land. And when she comes back several years later, with sort of the things that she's found, the ideas she's been exposed to, the knowledge she's gained, her family doesn't recognize her anymore, and she doesn't recognize them either. And the song ends, it leaves it sort of ambiguous, whether that's a good thing for her or a bad thing. It's left open-ended for the audience to interpret what they want from the story. And the Duke is moved, as is Lady Octoberg, and the Duke has a small conversation with the Chamberlain, and the Chamberlain turns and says, Helga, you have impressed me these past few days, and in these past moments, the Duke himself as well. We would be honored to have you perform for the lady's birthday in the coming days. And Helga says, thank you, but no thank you. And this, deathly silence falls over the room. And the Duke, gives her a look, are you sure you want to say that? I have performed well these past few days, it's true. But I have performed well because I mean what I say. The stories I tell, they're real to me. The feelings that come from them are real to me, and that is why you feel them as well. But if I were to perform, knowing that I had been judged unfairly, because my friend was an elf, I wouldn't be able to feel it. It would be a lie. And the Duke turns to the Chamberlain. What does she mean? Your Eminence, I'm not entirely sure, he says pointedly to Helga. I think you are. You have been treating Farron like nothing since he arrived. You didn't write his name on the list yesterday. At least not until I brought him on stage. And you had to cover yourself. Your Eminence, this man that you have entrusted the machinations of your entire palace to holds within him a hatred or a fear, some evil that would cause him to treat this amazing performer like they are nothing. And for that reason, and that reason alone, I must say no. And I think, because we're over the hour, that might actually be where we just end it tonight. So, when we come back in 2 weeks, we will find out what the fallout of that is, and also what Arrow has been up to, as it begins to rain outside, and that will be important. So, thank you all so much for putting up with my technical difficulties tonight. I'm gonna do a bunch of stuff with OBS to try and keep this from happening again. But regardless, I appreciate your patience despite that, especially the three of you as players. I know the fun thing would just be to show up and play games for 4 hours and not listen to me yell at OBS. So thank you for putting up with that and for being here and for giving me and the audience your time. So let's do shout outs, starting with Summer. Oh wait, Summer's not here. She's not here, but we love her anyway. And at least speaking for myself, but probably the rest of the group, we are very happy for her and hope that she is having a good weekend. You can see her stuff on screen now. You can follow her over on Twitter at Just a Summer Job, on Twitch at off_the_table, where she plays a ton of awesome games all week long. So definitely go follow her in those places. And Jess, who are you? Where can people find you? What are you up to in the next few days? Specifically tomorrow.
Yeah. Little Cup of Joe on Twitter, on Twitch, on pretty much all of the internets, really, but those are the two places where I actually do stuff. I have a very quiet Instagram, we'll say. I do voice acting, I do art things, I do TTRPGs, and I'm on a bunch of channels. Just follow my Twitter and you'll figure the rest out. But the important thing that you need to give a shit about is tomorrow on my Twitch channel at noon Pacific is the premiere of my Ryutama campaign in the style of classic JRPGs like Secret of Mana, Legend of Mana, and the Lunar series, The Promise Tree. I have 4 extremely talented players who are extremely wonderful people, and also all artists. They all did their own character designs.
Cool.
It's pretty wild, and we're all excited and hype about it. So I hope to see you all there.
Hell to the yeah. I would say, like, man, it must be great having all artists, because it, like, takes some weight off of your shoulders, because I know you like to make art for the characters in the games that you run. But I've gotten a sneak peek of some of the production stuff for the show, and I know that you just found that work elsewhere. Which is to say, chat, holy fuck, it's gonna be so good. So I'm gonna echo that. Show up tomorrow. Take us over to the other screen at twitch.tv/littlecupofjoe. Show up tomorrow at noon Pacific. For real,
Yeah,
if you can.
I did a lot of production work, overlays, and things, because what is chill? What is chill? I don't know.
I don't know. Speaking of not knowing what chill is, we have a fantastic bard at our table tonight. Kiana, where can people find your amazing self?
That was a lot of fun, and I'm super in love with Helga.
Nice.
Yep, Farron likes her, which says something. But yeah, I can't wait for next episode. I am Kiana. You guys find me over on Twitter at KianaS. Best way to figure out what I am doing, because I am playing role-play games on the internet pretty much every day of the week.
I know that
Sundays
life.
are my only days off. But like I kind of mentioned at the top of the show, we got 2 things. One, May Black Roses Bloom, brand new Dragonlance Ravenloft series. That's over on twitch.tv/grimjack21502. Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern. Definitely check it out, because it's grimdark. It's super awesome. The characters are great. And I play an angsty assassin girl. So super fun stuff. And I just made a video recently describing my final senior honors project, aka the things I need to complete to graduate undergrad. So I'm doing my project on D&D and Twitch, and basically how audience adds to collaborative storytelling through Twitch. I have a video pinned on my Twitter account, which I would appreciate anyone watching or sharing, so that way I can get the right people involved with the project and get it going, so that I can give back to the community and also, finish university, because that's also important.
That sounds
That part might be a little important.
fascinating.
Just a little.
That sounds so good. And Adam, how about you? Where can people find you?
Hey there. You guys can find me on Twitter at OVO. Also my handle on most other social media. I have an Instagram. I do have a Twitch channel that I started and have done nothing with because I have not had the time. So
Nice.
maybe one day. And I am a voice actor. I am a YouTuber. I talk about tabletop stuff on YouTube. Haven't gotten to do a whole lot of that lately. So after these next couple weeks calm down, I'm hoping to finally get back into the whole content creation swing of things. I miss it a lot.
All right.
That's
awesome.
About it on my end.
It's not like you've been busy doing things like getting married and then getting married again, or
I did this twice, guys.
That's whew. Yeah.
that's commitment.
Yeah, my
To
my
one
mom would say
woman, by
that's
the way,
enough
not
times.
two. Just to clarify.
Yes, very important clarification. The 2 weddings are to the same person.
That would
Long
be
story.
awkward. Like married, divorced, married someone else within like 2 months. Woo, that's. I mean, I move fast, Adam, but that's fast.
I didn't know I had it in me.
All right. Well, thank you so much, chat, for hanging out with us and watching this wonderful dramatic stuff. This game gives me such life every 2 weeks. My life is more stressful but less dramatic than it used to be, and this gives me that nice kick of drama every time, and I love it. Thanks to Gregor for the awesome stuff with your pal Rupert and for nudging that in that direction. Thank you.
That's great.
Thank you, Vori, for just being a pain in the ass to the people that like you typically don't want to be a pain in the ass to. And thanks, as always, to our bard for being the social compass of the group and also for the amazing singing. But I want to say a thank you to everybody who followed and hosted and donated tonight. You all help make this happen. But most importantly, have a wonderful rest of your night.